Welcome to another episode of Strategic Minds Making Money Moves, where we give those strategies to do what? Make that green. Now, you know what? We gonna learn some things about some fashion today. And I am so excited to have Miss Reneka Ward with me and on the show. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm excited.
Well, I'm so glad to have you here. Would you please share with our audience a little bit about your business?
Sure. I am a fashion artist and organizer. I go by Miss Vavavoom, of course, because I like, everything to be big. But I'm a fashion organizer and an artist, and I help with business owners that need to transition into different platforms, like to dress, and I also help them whenever it comes to transitioning out of different careers. Like I have clients that were in the military and they transition as civilians, and of course they need to have like regular clothes going out, that sort of thing. So I am everything fashion when it comes to that, and I also help organizations raise funds and using fashion to do that.
Okay. Well, let's talk a little bit about this fashion thing, because you do look awfully nice today.
Thank you.
And I'm loving that red. But when you talk about you help people when they transition, how do you find your clients today to go through that transition period? Do you, in terms of getting them where you can help them, like example, the military, et cetera?
So most of my clients actually are based on referrals. So yes, so because some of the current clients I have, they know that Reneka helps you to transition out of your uniforms or out of those jobs that you are stuck in. Like I don't want to say boring clothes, but it's pretty much that, so that you can have an identity, so that you can identify who you are now that you're not attached to the title of your job. So mostly through referrals right now.
Okay, well, we gonna talk about how we can expand that, because you hit on something that even when we talked that really resonates with me, and it actually is something that's very personal to me, because I have a lot of veterans in my family, and my father was a veteran, my brother-in-law is also a veteran, and father-in-law, etc. So it resonates within my family. And one of the things that has really been hard is getting the right services from the VA. I truly believe that you need to get to be a vendor under the VA. And being a vendor under that VA, letting them know that when you have veterans that are transitioning, have them call me. I can help them, as they're getting accustomed to civilian life and understanding what that looks like from a fashion perspective. Yes. And I think one of the things that's a misnomer is everything's got to cost $1 million. Right. Now, would you agree? I can buy something $5 and make it look like it's $100.
No, I do not agree with that. It is all about that personality and that confidence. Yes, ma'am. And that's what we pride ourselves in, to help that customer to actually take and internalize who they are externally.
Okay, so you heard it here. See, it's all about that mindset, right? And so, but working with the VA can help them, because they're already having a hard time coming from an environment where they've saved the country.
That's right.
They have gone and done their time to allow us to live freedom. And now we're asking them to come back into civilian life, and they don't necessarily have all the tools that they need to be able to do that. And some were in more danger than others, and that adjustment makes it harder. But I do think if you partnered with them, that could give you a great avenue as you're doing that. Yes. The other thing is that any business that has a uniform, that we move from a uniform, that we want to do something different. So for example, I was in the healthcare business for a while, and we hired, we did a lot with the Food and Drug Administration, because we were making medicines and things like that. So we hired some doctors from the hospitals. Now, they wear scrubs and white jackets. That wasn't going to work in this corporate environment at all, right? And so having to help them to understand what is appropriate and what isn't really makes a big difference in terms of doing that. The third thing that I want to talk about is we have all these different names, what does cocktail ready mean, after 5? What is really business casual? What does that mean? What's acceptable? What isn't? What does it mean to be, they've got all these different catchphrases, and I'll get these invitations and go, okay, now what does that mean? What am I supposed to wear?
Right.
Just tell me what I'm supposed to wear, right? I don't understand all this jargon. Can you talk to the audience a little bit about those different kinds of labels, if you will, to help us to understand what we're supposed to wear?
Yes. So when dealing with different attire, of course, from my perspective, I always bring it back to the client and to see what's going to be most comfortable for them. As far as when you talk about, okay, you want to do business casual, we're going to stick within a certain guideline that's comfortable for the party, but I always try to give you that vavavoom feel for that individual, so that when you do walk into the room, you feel confident about even being there. So, I mean, there are different, things. And if you decide, hey, I want to stick to what they're saying that I have to wear to this party, or, we do stay within those ramifications, but we try to put an extra flair on that so that you could feel good. I'm all about you feeling good when it comes to those things.
And that's so important, because if you don't feel good when you walk in, you're not going to feel good being present.
Right.
And you truly aren't present.
Right.
And so if I'm worried about how I'm looking, how I am appearing, it makes some of those challenges, in terms of doing that. We're going to take a station break. And when we come back, I want to pick up off on some of those things that you said that we could do to continue to move forward. We'll be right back.
Strategic Minds, Making Money Moves with Vicki Wright Hamilton focuses on helping entrepreneurs to overcome their business challenges to help increase their bottom line. Each episode provides strategies for growth and transformation. Watch Vicki share her 20-plus years of experience as a corporate executive to help entrepreneurs level up.
Welcome back. So, you talked a lot about getting a lot of your clients through word of mouth, and word of mouth is great as long as the word of mouth continues, right? And as long as it multiplies to enough people that you're able to satisfy your financial obligations and the things you need to do with business. But, I would encourage you to explore working with some influencers. And nothing wrong with bartering with an influencer. Look, you influence my fashion and what I'm doing, and I can help you with the clothes that you need for what you're doing, right? But I do think that influencers could really help you a lot, because there are so many influencers that are out there that are in different industries, in different segments, that can help you carry your business to the next level. So you can always stay, abreast of what's happening. And believe it or not, the small boutique, there are women who go in there, there are people who go in there that are looking for that. And the salespeople sell, but they're not picking out things, right? And putting things together and really understanding that individual. To your point, I love the vavavoom where you're saying, look, I'm going to fit you, right? You come first, and then we fit the environment, that's around you, as you're continuing to move forward. How long have you been in business?
I've been in business for 7 years.
Oh, wow. Fantastic.
Yes.
Sounds like you've been in business quite a while to be able to keep things moving and moving forward.
Right.
Let's talk a little bit about your future growth strategy. Where do you really want to be? Where are you trying to go to?
Well, excuse me. I really want to take some of the things that I'm doing within my business and make it into a kit for others to duplicate, to be perfectly honest. And as you mentioned about the boutiques, I actually go in when the boutiques are new, and I host fashion shows for them. And get them started, get the adrenaline going, getting the advertisement and stuff out there. So I do that, and I enjoy that, being a fashion fashion show host. I do enjoy that. But I do see my business, and we didn't talk about this much, but I love the aspect of fundraising. Mm-hmm. So actually being able to put that into a kit so that I can help the organizations that need to raise funds. People are still doing the whole donuts and chocolate, but who would rather do fashion as a fundraiser? It is so exciting, and I absolutely love it. So I do see that part of my business in the future growing, so that people can understand, like, hey, let's think outside of the box. Let's do a fashion show like at the fundraiser.
Well, let me tell you something. That sounds like such a big enough business. We need to have a part 2 so we can talk about nothing but how do I get to a nonprofit? How do I fundraise? So we're going to have a part 2 on that. I truly think that that's really thinking outside of the box, and that would be an opportunity for us to really focus on the nonprofit sector. So we'll have to do part 2 on that. As we continue to think about the individual, though, if I have you done any or worked with any companies to work with executives that are doing that are looking for clothing experts, or the person who is actually going to be their wardrobe expert that helps them to get their clothes together? I remember, as a previous executive, I was so busy. I didn't have time to go to anybody's store. I didn't have time to find anything. So I'd had this fashion consultant at a particular store, and I called her and said, I got these 3 events to go to, find it. And she would go, okay. Now she knew my style and what I liked, what I didn't like. And I would go in for an appointment, and the dressing room would be filled. And then I'd look at some and go, now that's not me. Oh, girl, you need to stretch yourself a little bit. Try it, right? And I was like, I'm not putting that on. Stretch yourself a little bit. Try it. And lo and behold, I put it on and go, ooh, I really like this. Right. It looks better on than it did on Anger, right? And then I'd go buy it. How can women get in touch with you that are looking to kind of have that experience from an executive perspective to help us as we're so busy, or any moms for that matter, or anybody that's working, whether you're single, married, or otherwise, does not matter. But how can they get in touch with you to be able to do that? Because I know that was a lifesaver for me.
Yes. I'm on social media. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter as well. So they can reach out to me there. All you have to do at vavavoom plus. I normally put at plus fashions because it kind of distinguishes between all of the other vavavooms that try to creep up in there, right? But I am launching a website as well. So that is coming soon, so that our clients will have somewhere to go exclusively, so that they can see all of the testimonies that I've been collecting and all of that other stuff. So we can have somewhere to fire that up. But I love the idea about the executives, because being in corporate America, I've worked in corporate America for 22 years. And that's one of the things that's, who has time to do, to do that. But that is one of the strategies that I would like to see exactly how to, make that materialize. I would love to do that.
So let's talk about that a little bit, because having been someone that, comes from that sector, we can talk about how do you put in place strategies for executive women? Well, I'll tell you what happened to me. There was a bunch of us that were at work together, and it was like, God, we got this event coming up, and somebody said, we really need to get us a fashion consultant. We need somebody who can come in and do these things for us. So we actually called the store, and we asked the store if they had any vendors that they worked with that would work with their clientele to help them sell their clothes. Well, the store was happy because their merchandise was being sold, and the client was happy because you were doing it for them. Now, the challenge came with the salesperson, right? Because the salesperson is trying to push things too. So what the vendors did is they built a relationship with the salespeople, and they were like, look, you're trying to get things out here. I'm going to help you make your commission because the merchandise is going, right? So whether you sold it or I sold it doesn't matter.
Right.
So I'm going to work with you. And then the client is so happy because you took your time, and I'm paying you for your time to be able to go and do it. So we called some stores and found out that there are actually people out there that they were aware of and said, oh, you want to call consultant so-and-so, because they had built a vendor relationship.
Yes.
And from a diversity supplier perspective, you could actually go in as a diverse supplier to these organizations to help them. Look, I'm going to help you and you're going to help me. And this is how we can make the marriage work. So from a D&I program perspective, you can make that D&I program happen for them and move it forward. And they begin to get credit for helping diverse suppliers. You're getting business. Everybody's winning.
Right.
Nobody loses in that scenario. So I would encourage you to reach out and think about that.
Definitely.
Once you get those relationships with those stores, go into companies and let them know that that you're there to be able to help as a perk to their executives. So when you're inviting executives and things, here is a perk that that we offer. We have a fashion consultant that can help you, and that's another avenue.
Wow, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to take a station break. When we come back, we're going to see if there's a question or comment from the audience as we wrap up. We'll be right back.
Strategic Minds, Making Money Moves with Vicki Wright Hamilton focuses on helping entrepreneurs to overcome their business challenges to help increase their bottom line. Each episode provides strategies for growth and transformation. Watch Vicki share her 20-plus years of experience as a corporate executive to help entrepreneurs level up.
Welcome back. So, as we were talking about getting those executives, I will say that, everybody's trying to look for a benefit as we're dealing with talent and we're trying to deal with, strategies. Get a perk. Show them how you can do a perk, right? And how you can help their busy, the busy person, right? And whether it's male or female, I can help the busy person. You need some help, I can help you, right? And my thing is to give you back the value of time that we can't get back. Right?
That's
and
right.
so I'm going to do the searching and the looking for you. I have it ready for you when you get there. Save you the time. You go and try on, get what you like. You don't, you walk out the door. And
That's
then
right.
it's easier. But going to companies like that can really help you. And you might start with going to the business resource groups. So usually there's a women's resource group. There's, there's all kinds of resource groups within the organization. Let them know as the associations, look, this is something that I offer if anyone is interested. If they're interested, who's ever the head of the business resource group, which probably in most of the time is in the HR group,
Right.
but they actually are head of that, then you can let them know that this is something that you would like to offer as a perk to them. And it doesn't cost the company anything. You're not asking them for any money. You're just asking them to share your information, right? So that could be a value as well. In terms of doing this, you might think about, exploring those options. Let's see if we have a question or a comment from the audience.
Hello, I'm Relissa James, the business owner of Be Lovely and Beyond Studios. My question is, I have two questions. The first one is, how did you go about doing your consultations and everything like virtually since COVID had happened? And also, are there any bigger designers that you would want to work with?
Awesome question. Yes, I actually started virtual styling before COVID. So yeah, I had my platform and everything already laid out. But COVID helped me to sharpen it though, which was awesome. But I do style clients in several different states as we speak. So yeah. As far as your second question, is there a designer that I would like to work with? I have the heart of creating my own design. Yes. So I know when you talk about 5 years, 10 years, what do you want your business to look like? I want to create, and actually this is one of my t-shirts that I've designed, but instead of having the fashion organizer, I have Be Kind, Dress Well. So my clients actually wear this when they're out and about. And when they get the reviews, they're like, oh my God, I feel great when I wear my vavavoom lady. This is the vavavoom lady. So it's almost like they instant elevation of confidence, and they send me the pictures and stuff, and they having a good time. And when they go for the parties, some people have parties or birthday parties like women, and they have the shirts that they actually wear for the birthday party. So I've even thought about having the birthday girl's name or something put at the bottom, or whatever they want on the back of the shirt. So whenever you talk about that, I want to get in that arena myself so that I can tailor, because one of the things that I do, or two of the things that I do within the business, is I style based on your body type and your skin tone. So to actually create garments to fit the 4 body types that I work within, or it's only 4, but you know, some people have it branched out further than that. But I would love to branch out and do that myself. Yeah. It's all about vavavoom, baby. No, look, no shade to no other designer, but it's all about vavavoom.
Thank you so much for your question. As you can see, you know, it's all about that passion, right? And it just feels good to see you living your passion and doing your passion and saying, my dream is, yeah, there are designers out there, but there's not going to be a designer out there like me, right? This is what I want to do.
Right.
I'm going to make this happen, right?
Right.
I'm going to move in this direction. And I think that's great. And I think that it allows your ability to be able to stretch. My question is have you already started the process of doing your strategic plans to get to where you want to be, where you are that designer? Have you begun to put pen to paper to say, if I want to do this, these are the things I have to have in order so that I can offer this design, so I can offer this opportunity?
I have done some research, and I have to be 100% transparent. It is scary whenever you start looking at production and all of the stuff that goes into making. So from a small business owner's perspective, it's like, okay, girl, where are you supposed to start? And when you do start, can you make sure you can eat?
But that's the key. And I think that the thing is that you know your lane. But when it comes to expertise of others, we have to be willing to reach out to understand who are the best manufacturers. How do I go about doing this? Who is it that I need to talk to? And you can do that by talking to other people who are in the industry of already doing it so that you learn from what they've done. This is one of the reasons I wanted to do this show. I want people to learn what others are doing so that you can continue to grow and develop and be those multimillionaires that I know you can be. Mm-hmm. And so the only way we're going to do that is share information, is to share experiences. And so, I have a girlfriend today who wanted to design her own line, and she knew what her clients were, and she knew what she wanted to design and how she wanted it to look. But the deal was she went out there and said, okay, I've done some research. I've called some production places. I've called some distribution. I've called what it means to get the fashion and how it needs to be made. And I've called to understand what that entire supply chain looks like. Because there may be portions of the supply chain that you know somebody that can do it for you.
That's right.
And that's where that partnership comes in. Find you a small business that does production. Find you a business that does manufacturing. Look and see what's there all the way around so that you aren't limiting yourself to the point of or being scared, because that's what happens. We get fear. Normal. We're fearful, but we're fearful because of the unknown.
That's right.
And as you do your research, then go to talk to people. Research is to give you the foundation of, I understand what I need to do. Talking to people is to give you those answers, as you continue to move forward. So we want to be able to do that. Well, will you all thank me and thank my guest and being here today? Vavavoom.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us on another episode of Strategic Minds Making Money Moves, where we give those strategies to get that green. See you next time.